I'm going to try to film this backwards because I don't have light in this room. So I hope I'm on camera. Let me see if I am. Yeah, I think I'm on camera. And I'm going to try to give you guys updates. I'm starting the day off really early. You know, there's a lot I have to cover. I wanted to first show you how this came out. It's a little uneven, but you see how you can hang it or you could put it on the table like I showed you. I'm not going to finish off any more of it because I can even it out, but I think it would just be too full. So that project is over. So my main project now is trying to find out the gangs and criminals involved in this. And this is now just going to be what I do for the rest of my life. You know, when I first started, I'm going to show you, they hacked my iPhone. This was a brand new iPhone that I got in 2017, and they hacked it. I mean, in real time, I'm walking down the street on, I got to the corner of 59th Street, a guy passed me and the phone shut off. And I panicked because I'd never had that experience. And then it went back on when I put it back on. So that was the day at the tram that I mentioned in a previous video, and I'm going to go into more detail at some point. But then I tried recording them on all of these devices, and you know, I couldn't. I got new ones. Like, I was just going crazy getting new devices after new device after new device trying to record them. And when I finally figured out how to record them, it was just with that old Samsung cell phone and the old microphone recorder. And then I got them. So I told you folks, I don't want to go into letting them speak and using my YouTube channel for them. Instead, I'd rather talk about how we're going to stop these people from doing this to anyone else. There's a lot of violence in New York right now, and I don't like to label a particular group, but the people who started this with me are white, and they look white in appearance. And over time, with them constantly talking to me, they said they're pitting me against other groups. So they've used other racial groups to attack me. But then someone recently said, and I think this needs to be a discussion, because I feel that if we don't discuss this openly and find out who's funding this, it takes a lot of money to do this. This isn't just the normal gang stalking. This is, I've been researched and investigated. I've had people claiming they're the ones who found the book, Northbury Papers, that had my name, that my professor wrote. I didn't even know about it. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but it takes funding. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of energy. And then when they moved into River Bay and started living near me, I'm saying, how can they afford it? So over time, they started to tell me how I got into a program that's called Reward and Punishment, which is insane. It's illegal. It's unethical. And it's just plain old wrong. And part of what they want to do is find these crimes that I've allegedly committed and then punish me for them and expose me. There's a reason why they haven't come forward. I haven't committed any crimes. And there's nothing to expose. But in doing this process, I told you they brought riffraff into my life. And part of the riffraff said that they identify themselves as different nationalities and different ethnicities and different religions. And that since I'm Catholic, and I'm not a practicing Catholic, and I haven't been for some time, that I should understand. And then I'm Black, and I should understand. And that they have different groups. They're coming from other countries, so I should understand. Some of them identify as Jewish, so I should understand. When this first started, I was using this phone and I could hear them. And I told them, if you identify as these groups, you should understand. If you claim to be Catholic, you should understand my perspective. If you claim to be Jewish, you should understand my perspective. If you claim to be foreign, you should understand my perspective. If you are female, you should understand my perspective. I am one of the most vulnerable groups in the world, not only as a Black person, as a female, but now someone who isn't of good health and someone who's 48 years old, you should understand my perspective. There's no justification for trying to harass, stalk me 24/7, trying to find alleged crimes that don't exist, and then having the nerve to then apologize. That's what they've been doing recently. It's too little and it's too late, folks. I must expose this pattern of behavior. In Catholicism, there's no such thing as reward and punishment. So don't blame Catholicism. In any other groups that I've named, if you have a pattern of that, I am not a member of those groups. I'm an American citizen, and we have the right to speak freely and openly as much as possible. The more, the better. They claim that this is some sort of experiment. They went from making a research study where I showed you folks on my Twitter account, I received something called a multicultural study about cognitive decline and Alzheimer's before any of this really set in. So this seems to be something that isn't on the up and up, and I must expose these people. Hitting me on my temples, on both sides, the top of both sides of my head and the back of my head. So I say the top of my head, temples, and the back of my head, and throughout my body is illegal, and it's wrong. We don't have to talk about legality when we talk about ethical behavior. If it's an ethical thing, then it's something they come forward with. Because it's unethical, it's also illegal, and they're ashamed. So if they want to talk about reward and punishment, my punishment for these people is to expose them and also help other people in New York City in particular dealing with these gangs and criminals get the word out. We must stop this behavior, not by resorting to violence and criminality, but by exposing it and speaking freely. So if this is what I do with my life, then so be it.